Talking time. Fruits. 2 teachers. Show some fruits in the classroom. Talk about the common fruits we eat. Pineapple, orange, banana, grapes, watermelon, papaya. Flowers. 2 teachers. Children touch the pictures and say, show flower, sunflower, jasmine, lotus, rose, marigold. Pet animals. 2 teachers talk about the pet animals. Dog, cat, pigeon, parrot, fish, rabbit. Domestic animals. Goat, cow, horse, bullock, donkey, pig. Wild animals. 2 teachers talk about the wild animals. We can see some of them in the zoo. Lion, bear, giraffe, tiger, deer, elephant, fox, monkey, zebra. Water animals. 2 teachers. Some of these animals live in land and water. Can you name them? Fish, octopus, crocodile, tortoise, hippopotamus, frog. Day before yesterday.
What are you staying now? Days? Where are you staying now nowadays?
At Kota.
Have you left Palayam?
Yes, that are east to congested.
You did well. Whose book is this?
My textbook.
Are you still studying?
Yes, of course.
In which class?
BCom, second year.
That's very good. Where is your father nowadays?
He has been transferred to Calicut.
Won't you come to my place?
Sorry, Ramu, I came here for a short while and want to get home last.
Come. We will have a cup of tea in that restaurant.
Sorry, Ramu, I will have next time.
Very well done. No excuse. Next time, bye bye.
Bye bye. See you so long. Excuse me, do you know from where I can get a bus to Delhi Gate?
All the buses go that side.
Where do I stand in queue? This and or that?
Just behind me.
Thank you. How long does it take to reach Delhi Gate from here?
Hardly 10 minutes.
When will the next bus come?
It is difficult to say. It may take 5 minutes or even 25.
But I had the impression that DTC is also as reliable as best.
Have you come from Bombay?
That's right.
No doubt, Best is known for its quick service, but DTC has also improved a lot.
Is it since when?
After many public protests, before that it was very unreliable, undependable.
What do you mean?
The buses were usually late, sometimes missed the trips, and at times were overcrowded and didn't or wouldn't stop.
That must have been very troublesome.
Of course, but now things have improved. Look, there is your bus. Get into it quickly.
Thank you. Bye. What is the time, Mr. Madhu?
"10:30, sir."
And what is the office time?
10 o'clock, sir.
Then why are you so late?
Sorry, sir.
You come late every day, don't you?
Sir, the bus come late today.
And yesterday you was out of the order.
I will be punctual from tomorrow, sir.
That's what you always say.
I sincerely assure you this time, sir.
When do you wake up in the morning?
Around 8 o'clock.
Is it that rather late?
So it is, sir, every day determined to get up early, but cannot do so.
You don't know the value of time. Lost time is never regained. Clerk.
I do realize and understand that. Sorry, sir.
Had you realized it, you would not have come late to office. Well, when do you go to bed at night?
Around 11:30.
That's not. You should sleep early to get up early.
I will do so in future.
Try to start early for office.
Very well, sir. Thank you.
I am Vishnanath. You had asked my son to ask me to see you.
Your son, Vinod.
Vinod, class teacher.
Yes, I remember. I had asked him to do so.
I am here.
Thanks. I want to tell you that he is not been able to cope with studies,
In which subjects?
particularly in English.
Very strange. But he did well in the half yearly examination, didn't he?
No doubt, but I am telling you after inquiring about it.
What are your findings?
In fact, he had copied. Now he admits that he had brought notes along.
It is shame. What a shame. How is his general conduct?
He is very well behaved, no need to worry about that.
Then what do you suggest for improving the English?
And English conversation courses should be learned and teach you.
There are many such dangerous things that people do, thinking that these are ways to look smart and stylish and for the thrill of it. Before doing anything, you should think about what it means to be adventurous and what it means to be foolhardy. There is no harm in doing exciting things, but make sure that they are also safe. Everyone has a choice. There are many thrilling and exciting things to do that are also safe. Why not try those? A few basic safety rules. In many fun-filled and thrilling activities, we can follow a few basic safety rules. Then these activities can be enjoyed in a safe way. If you like to cycle fast, you may use cycling tracks in safe areas like sports centers, clubs and parks. However, when going along with regular traffic, if you cycling tracks in safe areas like sports centers, with regular traffic, be more controlled. If you like to experiment with electricity, do it wearing rubber footwear or standing on a wooden plank. Conduct these experiments only when there are people around the place who can guide you in case of doubt. Even cooking a new dish can be exciting if you wear well-fitting cotton clothes and stand on a safe base and have an elder with you. In highly thrilling adventure sports like paragliding, adults and children must wear life jackets along with their parachutes and follow the guides or trainers' instructions carefully. Enjoy things without taking unnecessary risks. Check your mind and steady your thoughts, words and actions. Here are some ways to do this. Never try anything that can become a bad habit. Using bad language or imitating others' weaknesses like stammering may be enjoyable for a while, but these can become habits soon. There is nothing exciting about them. Say no to experiments that can become addictions. Many people are offered drugs, a cigarette or an alcoholic drink with try just once. What can one puff or drink do? This is just for fun. You need not come near it again. This makes it sound like fun and we think we will not do it again. But addicting, these things have a strange quality about them even if we don't like them the first time. They have a power to make us want them again and again. Of course, if the very first experience is fun, then the person gets hooked onto it even faster. Soon he or she becomes as help to the habit, then life is hell without it. A huge amount of money is spent on keeping up the habit. Worse, the body and mind become ill. Even a cigarette is deadly because it never stops with one, like all addictions. One needs more and more, and in time it becomes life threatening. The most frightening thing about addictions is that the mind is kidnapped by the habit. So say no to the very first time anyone calls you for such experiments. It is simply not worth the risk. Be adventurous, but not foolhardily. Keep good company. It is not enough that you like your friends. You should also be able to respect them for their values and character. It is better not to be too close to people who are not into good ways. We become like the people we are all close to. We begin to think, talk, and behave like them. That is why it is said, to know who you are, let me know who your friends are. So always keep good company. That itself is a powerful protection from negative ways of thinking and behaving. Manage peer pressure smartly. Have you heard of the term peer pressure? When many of your age think, speak, or do certain things, there is a pressure on you to do so too. For instance, if tight clothes are in fashion, we feel like wearing them even if we feel more comfortable in loose-fitting clothes. If people of your age make fun of elders, even though you know it is not right, you want to do it to appear cool. This is peer pressure. Be smart. Know when to go along with peer pressure and when not to. If a thing is wrong, have the courage to say no. In reality, others may mock at or insult you, but slowly they will respect you and see that you are right. This does not mean that you should be goody or boringly correct. It does not mean that you should not have fun. It only means that you have your limits and will not cross them. Whatever be the pressure on you, be adventurous, not foolhardy. Avoid talking to strangers. Avoid conversations with strangers, however exciting or interesting it may seem. At the same time, take care not to appear rude or unfriendly. You must be aware of the possibility of kidnapping nowadays, not only for ransom but for many other reasons like peddling of vital body organs and for making demands on the government. If you haven't heard about these happenings, discuss this point further with your teacher. Have an elderly friend. Befriend a parent, grandparent, or teacher to whom you can speak about your fears and doubts, and with whom you can share your sad and happy moments. You should be able to trust this elder to keep to himself or herself what you share. All of you are responsible, smart youngsters, but having an elder as a friend helps you avoid the rare mistakes you may make in your pursuit of adventure. Treat elders' greater experience as an encyclopedia of information on life. In the next class, you will learn some more safety tips. You will also see how you can be prepared for an adventure at any time. You will learn to make a safety guide. Bring a small notebook to the next class. Use elders' experience. Avoid talking to strangers. Be smart with peer pressure. Keep good company. Say no to dangerous experiments like drugs. Turn away from bad habits. Do. There are many ways to be adventurous in a safe way. One way is to keep important details at hand. So, as the activity of the day, you are going to use a pocket-sized book and make a safety guide for you and your family. On its cover, write my safety guide. Fill in the following details in the book: your name and the names of your parents, home address and telephone number, standard section, name of school, address and telephone number, blood group, names, addresses and telephone numbers of parents, officers, name, addresses and telephone number of a close relative who can be contacted in case of an emergency, and if your parents are not available, telephone numbers of the following places: police, family doctor, the hospital. Think, do you enjoy reading adventure stories?
Hello?
What do you think adventure is? What is foolhardy? Let us find out. Adventurous and foolhardy. Adventurous describes a person who enjoys thrilling events in books, movies, on TV, and in other ways. He or she enjoys travel, sports, and other exciting activities. Being adventurous makes life enjoyable. It also helps people to see the situations as positive challenges and to work enthusiastically to overcome them. Foolhardy describes a person who takes foolish risks for excitement or thrill. It also describes a person who does not think about the safety of what he or she does, but goes ahead because he or she feels it will be exciting. The difference between adventurous and foolhardy. This difference has to be clearly understood. Thinking that they are doing something exciting. People sometimes end up doing dangerous things and regretting later. Thoughtless thrills have even led people into accidents, some fatal. Shall we see some relief life examples? Some people enjoy putting their heads or hands out of the windows of moving vehicles. They know that this is dangerous, but foolhardy people do not think before they act. In some such instances, they risk losing limbs or even their lives. Imagine dying or losing a limb for 2 minutes of a passing thrill. Some think that it is smart to speed down roads in cars or on two-wheelers without any thought about the traffic rules. Do you think that such riders look smart? Do you know what happens to rash drivers? Such people have a far higher chance of meeting with accidents as police records show. Is it worth losing your life or becoming injured or even permanently impaired for a few moments of excitement? One of the latest foolhardy trends is young people taking selfies in dangerous places and positions. This is happening world over. Tourists fall to their death while taking selfies from the edge of cliffs, bridges, and tall buildings. In Madura, 3 college students tried a daredevil stunt of trying to take a selfie as a speeding train approached. They thought they could jump out of the way in time, but they met with their end under the train. People trying to take selfies on top of trains have been electrocuted. People taking or posting selfies while driving have died in horrific accidents. Even while walking, focusing on a cell phone has resulted in falls, injuries and accidents. There is no selfie, text message, post, phone call or email which is more important than your safety.
neural network. Neural networks reflect the behavior of the human brain, allowing the computer programs to recognize patterns and solve common problems in the fields of AI. Similar to the neurons in human brains, the AI uses nodes, artificial neurons that are connected to many such nodes in multiple layers. Pattern recognition. The pattern recognition in AI is used to recognize different kinds of patterns in text, audio, image and video format. Computer vision also uses pattern recognition technique, but its perspective is limited to image recognition. Neural nets is a means of doing machine learning, in which a computer learns to perform some tasks by analyzing and training examples. An object recognition system, for instance, might be fed thousands of labeled images of nature, buildings, human beings, and so on, and it would find visual patterns in the images that are correlated to other labels. Machine learning, ML. It is a subset of AI which focuses on the use of data and algorithms to imitate the way that humans learn, and based on the data collected, it slowly moves towards accuracy. By collecting data and correlating it with the behaviors over time, machine learning algorithms can learn associations and help in product development and marketing initiatives. Machine learning is important because it gives organizations a clear view on the trends of customer behavior and business operational patterns, as well as supports the development of new products. Many of today's learning companies, such as Facebook, Google, and Uber, make machine learning a core part of their operations. ML has become a relevant competing factor among various major companies. Facebook, Uber, Google, all these terms discussed above are interrelated and required for making various kinds of AI devices. Reactive machine. This is the oldest form of AI. As the name refers, the machine reacts to the situations based on the inputs fed to it. It does not have the functional ability to learn new things based on the situation. Also, it cannot rectify the errors, as it cannot memorize its mistakes. It always works on the present state based on the combination of inputs fed into it. The IBM Deep Blue machine, which defeated Garry Kasparov, the Russian chess grandmaster, in chess game, is an example for reactive machine. Every time it made moves on the chessboard, checking on the present situation. It neither memorized its opponent's moves nor corrected its previous mistakes. Limited theory. A1s have the functional abilities of reactive. A1 with the added advantages of learning and memorizing contents. They can learn from the past situations and react accordingly. Here the memory is limited. That means it won't create a library to store all its wrong reactions or learnings. It can only memorize and respond from a recent past situation. The image recognition A1 is an example of this, which can label the images with more accuracy when they go through same kind of images that are stored in their memory. The chatbots and self-driving cars are also examples of limited theory AIs. These AIs don't possess creative thinking ability. They cannot think out of the box for a given situation either. Theory of mind. The theory of mind AI is supported to read human minds and thoughts and respond to given situation. Understanding emotions and feelings of human beings and answering human needs is a difficult task for machine. Sophia, the humanoid robot, is an example for the theory of mind AI. But unlike the first two AIs discussed, the theory of minds AI is a work in progress AI. The development in the field of artificial emotional intelligence will support the boosting of this AI type. Self-awareness eyes. Self-awareness AI. This kind of AI exists only hypothetically. These AI devices will understand human emotions, thoughts and sentiments and will have all the emotions and feelings that humans have. They will be far more intelligent than human beings and can boost the whole world's progress. They can work better and faster than the human beings do. These AIs will be utmost creative. Though on one side this AI looks good and innovative. A machine that is smarter than a human being can, by all means, threatening. These AIs will be smart enough to protect themselves and dominate humans if such dangers are not foreseen. AI based on capabilities. AI can further divide into three types based on its capabilities. They are artificial narrow intelligence ANI, artificial general intelligence AGI, artificial super intelligence ASI, artificial narrow intelligence. This AI is also known as weak AI. It concentrates on specific tasks only. These machines can do nothing more than what they are programmed to do and thus have very limited or narrow range of capabilities. Their cognitive abilities narrowed to particular tasks and they do advancements only on those narrow tasks. Even though their abilities are narrowed to particular tasks, their performance level is similar to that of human beings. The voice assistants that work on NLPs, the face recognition applications, etc. are examples of this AI. Artificial General Intelligence AGI. It is the ability of an AI agent to think, learn, observe, understand and function totally like a human being. This is also called as strong AI. These AI systems will be able to independently build multiple functions and work across all the related AI domains successfully. There are no exact examples of strong AI machines so far. In other words, we can say the strong AI exists only theoretically. There are many claims as well as journals about the existence of strong AI, but none of them is on a par with the human brain. The world's fastest supercomputer, Fugaku of Japan, or NVIDIA DJs 100 of New Zealand, with world's most advanced system for powering AI workloads, don't possess strong AI but can be considered as the nearest examples. Artificial super intelligence. When AI device exceeds the human brain in everything, it is known as super AI. This kind of AI devices can perform all tasks performed by a human being in a better and faster way. super AI exists only hypothetically when the algorithms surpass the human intelligence in all contexts and parameters. This AI becomes more intelligent than human beings. Even though an AI that is more intelligent than a human brain with all the emotions and thinking abilities can be threat to the world. This factor has not made the researchers to set back from going ahead with their plan. The world has already started changing with the influence of AI devices in daily life. By most predictions, AI is supposed to hold the center stage of most human endeavors in the recent future. Types of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence. Functionalities, capabilities. Functionalities is divided into reactive machine, limited theory, theory of mind, self-awareness. Capabilities. Artificial narrow intelligence. Artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence. Strong AI is weak AI. Strong AI, it can think, perceive, act and react like humans. It can be conscious like human beings in a given situation. It has all the emotions and feelings that humans have. It can perform multiple tasks with human level intelligence. It's able to solve all unfamiliar problems. It can do self-programming. It can perform a multitude of tasks in different operating environments. It learns from the errors and rectifies them. It also stores the rectifications in the library for further reference. It exists hypothetically. Advanced robotics. Example, weak AI. No thinking power like humans. It does not possess self-consciousness and emotions. It is only good at specific tasks. It cannot solve unfamiliar problems. It cannot do self-programming. It performs reflexive tasks with no understanding ability. It does not even know how to rectify the repeating errors in the same operating environment. It has real existence. Example, Siri, Alexa, Google Home. Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar consisted of 365 days. 1 year was comprised of 18 months of 20 days each. The remaining 5 days were holidays intended for celebrations and festivals. The Crusades. The Crusades. The Crusades were the wars fought between Western Europe and Turks from the 11th to the 13th centuries. These wars were fought for appropriating Jerusalem, which is considered as the holy city of Jews. The Christians and Muslims Crusades were considered as one of the major factors for the spread of Eastern culture in Europe. Decline of feudalism. The socio-political economic system existed in medieval Europe based on land was known as feudalism. You have had a discussion on the structure and features of feudalism in the previous videos. From the 15th century onwards, feudalism began to decline in Europe. In this video, we have become familiar with the different forms of power in the medieval world. Significant administrative reforms were introduced in Asia, Europe, Africa, and America. During this period, these reforms and centers of power gave vigor to the march towards the modern age. the East and West era of exchanges. When a man is riding through the desert by night and by some reason gets separated from his companions and wants to rejoin them, he hears spirit voices talking to him as if they were his companions, sometimes even calling him by his name. Often their voices may lure him away from the path, and many travelers have got lost and died. Sometimes in the night, travelers hear a noise like the clatter of the horses, and if they head for the noise, they will find themselves in deep trouble. Sometimes they hear the noise of the drums and clash of arms. For this reason, bands of travelers may make a point of keeping very close to one another. Before they go to sleep, they set up a sign pointing in the direction in which they have to travel, and they fasten bells around the necks of all the beasts with them. Marco Polo. This is an expert from the traveler of the famous European traveler Marco Polo. He is describing the merchant guilds of the medieval period, as these groups were predominantly trading with the East and the West. They had to travel adventurously through the dangerous trade routes. The major trade routes of the medieval period are watching next videos. These routes extended from eastern China to western Europe. These trade routes which connected the East and the West were known as the Silk Route and the Spice Route. Silk Route was a land route, while the Spice Route was through the sea. These routes passed through different trade centers. The comparatively weak trade between the East and the West got a fillip with the beginning of the Crusades. The Italian traders were engaged in long distance trade with Eastern Roman Empire and the Arabs. They had trade relations with the town like Baghdad, Damascus. The Silk Route, the land route that extended from China to Europe, was known as the Silk Route. This trade route, which connected the East with the West, stretched around 6,000 kilometers. This route and its intervening resting places known as sarais helped the commercial, cultural and intellectual development of the religions like China, the Indian subcontinent, Persia, Europe and North Africa. The rapid increase in production, diversity of products, construction of roads and bridges, and effective steps to control thieves and robbers resulted in the strengthening of the commercial contacts between the East and the West. The Spice Route, a network of sea routes that connected with the East with the West, was known as the Spice Route. This route passed through the regions of coastal Indonesia, India, Japan, Sri Lanka and the Central Asia, and the chief commodity of exchange was spices. The cities of medieval world. Ancient Roman cities once again became active around the 11th century. In addition to them, new cities also sprang up. The cities which developed around the castles of the nobles. Cities emerged around churches and monasteries. Cities sprang up with the expansion of markets. In the medieval period, the peasants brought their products to the trade centers. Merchants and the craftsmen stayed in the trade centers and conducted long distance trade. These trade centers eventually developed into cities, but the emergence of different markets at various places of Europe made the coinage a necessity by the 13th century. The Italian cities of Florence and Venice began to mint their own coins. Compared to other European regions, cities had more favorable conditions such as the ports of Italian subcontinent and the concessions provided by the Italian cities to their merchants. Thus, the Italian cities of Genoa, Pisa, Venice, Florence, etc. emerged as great commercial centers from 1050 to 1300 CE. As the transportation of merchandise through the rivers was comparatively easy, many cities began to develop on the banks of the rivers. This facilitated large-scale exchange of articles. The facilities provided by the rulers for the production of commodities in the trading centers and the increase in population were the other factors that helped the development of the new cities. The fort surrounding the cities. The fort marked the boundary of villages and the beginning of towns. In order to enter the towns, there were gates, guard rooms, fort and towers. Special arrangements were made for the collection of taxes at the town gates. The medieval European cities were not similar to the modern cities. They were generally small in size. The roads of these cities were narrow and unhygienic. The buildings were built on wood and were thatched with hay. The possibility of an outbreak on high fire was very high as these cities were overcrowded. Majority of the city dwellers were merchants, craftsmen and laborers. The laborers of the cities were poor and hence they depended on others for their livelihood. The cities depended on the villages for food and fodder. Curfew. At 8 o'clock every night a bell rang in England for the people either to extinguish or to cover the fire. This was to avoid the outbreak of fire in the cities. This regulation, which was implemented in England, is called the curfew. The meaning of this word is to cover the fire. Now the emergency action taken by the government to bring back peace in troublesome areas is known as curfew. The eastern cities. Let's watch the regions other than the Western European cities, where big cities and commercial centers flourished in the medieval period. Baghdad, the capital city of the Abbasid Empire, was an important center of trade and commerce during the medieval period. The markets of Baghdad were flooded with the rare articles from different parts of the world. Another famous commercial center was Constantinople, Istanbul, the capital of the Eastern Roman Empire. The commodities coming through the Silk Route and the Spice Route were brought to Europe through these cities: Basra, Aden, Mecca, Muscat, Damascus, Surat. You are now familiar with the important trade centers and cities of the eastern and western parts of the world. Let's watch and study the social and economic conditions of the people in the cities. The guilds. The greatest specialty of the medieval social economic structure was the guilds. These guilds were the associations of experts in different occupational structures. There were two kinds of guilds: the merchant guilds, the craft guilds. The rapid increase of the trade in the medieval European cities, the formation of specific occupational sectors, the necessary to withstand all over the world. You need peace more than people. You need peace more than people. Languages. Yes, you may be. Languages. Yes, you may be. Your happiness is my happiness too. Your happiness is my happiness too. When you change, don't announce it. Just hard work. When you change, don't announce it. Just hard work. Happy learning to every student. When you change, don't announce it. Just hard work.